Right, good morning guys. So what are you looking for here? How about an awesome video on oxidation and reduction? Cool, because that's exactly what you've just found. Let's explain straight away what these funny words mean. We'll begin with oxidation. Any idea what that could be? I'm sure you know the famous CO2, also called carbon dioxide. The oxide there is for oxygen, and that is exactly what oxidation is about. More specifically, it means that oxygen is added by a chemical reaction. As soon as oxygen wants to react, we are talking about an oxidation. There are so many examples in everyday life. Oxygen in the air is not very considerate and crashes into everything that it comes in contact with. Option: oxygen in the air is not very considerate and it crashes into everything that it comes into contact with. For example, rust quickly forms on a car when its paint is damaged. At the point where the paint is missing, oxygen can react with the iron of the bodywork, forming iron oxide, also simply called rust. We're going to take a closer look at the rust reaction or acid corrosion in the video on redox reactions. There's also rancid fat, which is nothing more than oxidized fat, or just good old water. Who knows what water is made of? It doesn't matter if you don't know that, it's a really difficult question. Water is just H2O, made up of hydrogen and oxygen. In clever chemical terms, the reaction looks like this. The Nobel Prize winners amongst you probably realize that hydrogen reacts with the infamous oxygen. And bam! Just like that, this reaction is also an oxidation. So much about oxidation. Now let's talk about reduction. Reduction is basically the opposite of oxidation. When the oxygen makes off, we are talking about a reduction. We've also got a couple of nice ways to illustrate this. For example, even just water, whatever sticks to itself together, man can tear apart. To do that, we use something called an electrolyzer. The electrolysis of water is a process where we can use an electrical current to decompose water into its component parts. If we spend energy, we can split the hydrogen from the oxygen. Because we free the hydrogen from oxygen, we can also call it reduction. Another great example is silver oxide. When we add heat, two silver oxide molecules simply break down into their constituents: 4 atoms of silver and 1 molecule of oxygen. Of course, that is also a reduction. And that's all there is to reduction. Easy peasy so far. But watch out! The two terms are really important for redox reactions. They pretty much explain it all. So keep an eye out for that. Let's summarize one more time. Oxidation is a clever word for when we want to say that something reacts with oxygen. It's a reaction where oxygen is added. And reduction is just a clever word to describe the opposite. It's a reaction where oxygen is removed. In any case, make sure you've taken all of that in, as we're gonna need it for redox reactions. And that's all. Until next time, ciao!